You're watching Nevada Business Chronicles. Take a journey with us to see the innovative businesses that put Nevada on the business map. Connecting you with the businesses, events, and organizations that bring innovation and prosperity to the Nevada area, please welcome your host, Mitch Burney.
I could not be more excited than to introduce our next guest. I've been waiting a long time for this opportunity, and with me today, Mindy Heineck, NV Design and Decor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I said I've been waiting for a while.
Yes.
You've been building your business and doing some work, and what we're going to talk today about is design
Yes.
and decor.
Yes.
And you do it all.
I do it all.
Let's start with a little bit about your background, your education, because you're very qualified for what you do.
I graduated in 2010 from UNR with a Bachelor of Science degree in interior design and opened my business in 2015 to start a design and decor business.
One of the things I think makes you very unique in interior design is how important lighting is to a space, and you have a lot of experience in that area.
I have 7 years lighting experience, and I think lighting is the most important part of design, but the often most forgotten.
Interior design is multifaceted, and you do several different types of interior design. You do other events as well. So let's start with interior design. What types of interior spaces do you work with?
I work with residential and commercial design, specializing in kitchens, bathrooms, full remodels from demo through construction to completion.
When it comes to commercial design, it's really important. You're also licensed as a commercial interior designer.
You have to pass a national interior design exam. It's throughout the entire country. It's called the NCIDQ. And you have to know building codes all the way up to public welfare and safety.
You've done a number of commercial projects, including one up at UNR recently.
I designed a sorority up at UNR, Kappa Alpha Theta, and I designed the dining room, the kitchen space, the basement, and the entryway.
There are going to be a lot of brides watching right now. They're going to be thrilled to know that your degree in design and decor translates to wedding decor.
Yes, it does. Nothing gives me more pleasure than to help create a magical space for a bride and a groom to celebrate their special day.
I said I've been waiting for a while to tell your story. And the reason why, Mindy, is what an incredible human being you are. And I hope I don't get a little too personal here, but you're a single mom. Put yourself through school, through university, working full-time, opening your own business. That's a lot to take on. And what an incredible human being you are, and what quality work you do on top of that. I hope people in our community get behind and support you. The reason we're here today is a very special day. We're going to reveal one of your most recent projects, which is a salon. Yes. And we're here at the grand opening.
We are.
We've kind of left it a little bit in the background, so people didn't know where we were yet. But let's show what you've created in this space, because even right behind you is something you designed, custom, handmade, didn't order it out of a magazine, created for this space. So let's take a look at Salon 808.
Okay. What we were challenged with in this room is to create a space that is welcoming and inviting and functional with these 4 pedicure chairs, which I designed, and we hand built them.
I think they're great. They're so functional, and I guess it's shabby chic in a way.
It's a vintage shabby chic look is what the client wanted, and I feel like we established that with the raw wood just painted white, and we rusted it up a little bit, and we have this accent faux wall and a handmade clock. And we took vintage picture frames and added some shelves for their polish.
And then over here we have space for dryers.
The hair dryers that come out of the wall, very nice, different than the bulkier hair dryer that you're normal seeing at a salon.
And in a confined space, you've really created functional, comfortable use. I love the fact that you've carried this whole picture frame idea out into the nail salon.
I have.
This is custom. This was not something ordered online. Again, very unique. You thought about this.
Yes.
And made each and every one of these.
And made each and every one of them for their polish racks. And this is the nail station. So we have 4 nail stations, full equipped to handle gel or acrylic nails. And they also do pedicures.
And then again, the lighting. I mean, I'm noticing this everywhere.
Yes.
The lighting adds an ambiance. It makes this very warm and comfortable.
Yes. I also created 5 hair stations on the right. They are all filled up right now and booking your appointments. And the lighting is just a subtle pendant that adds some character to the space, and I think it makes it warm and inviting and comfortable.
I love even the floors and the padding behind the chairs. Everything has a sense of style, not just something to put there.
Everything has a meaning. Everything was picked specifically for this space to make it the most unique space that it can be and the best salon out there.
And that carries into the SD room, so let's take a look at those.
It's okay. I created 2 esthetician rooms with a handmade entry sign and a decorative accent wall with function for the esthetician to work with eyelash extensions and facials.
I've been noticing a theme of these in the entire establishment. Tell me about them.
I designed this clock and I had someone custom make it, and I think it's very unique and different. I love how you have numbers, Roman numerals, and the numbers spelled out. I think it just makes it unique and shabby chic.
Again, very consistent with the fact that this isn't just, I'm gonna go out and buy some things, put them in a space.
Right.
You're custom designing and even creating things that have never been done before.
Yes.
Very unique for this space,
Yes.
making it a one of a kind.
Absolutely. Absolutely
It's
one of a kind.
fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is Tania, the owner of Serenity Salon 808, this terrific new space. On your grand opening, big day, what do you feel about the space that Mindy's created here?
I am unbelievably blessed and grateful for this space. It is truly everything I imagined. And I'm so grateful that she was able to completely take my vision and bring it to life.
What was your vision? What was it that you said to start with that this is the outcome?
The space was completely bare. It had old paint, it had concrete floors, and it literally had 3 shampoo bowls, and that was it. And I came to her and I was like, hey, I want a rustic, shabby chic. These are the color palette that I want. I want grays and neutrals with pops of teal, and she literally hit it right on the money with this place.
It's a beautiful space. There's
Yes,
no doubt about it.
it's
And some
amazing.
very custom, created, one-of-a-kind feeling, a vibe that's very special here.
Yes, I wanted it open and light and bright and inviting and welcoming, and it completely is that and so much more.
That's fantastic. Congratulations on
Thank
your
you
grand
so
opening.
much. Thank you.
To a magnificent space, a great salon, and to massive success.
Cheers. Woo-woo.
Not only did this space turn out great, but every project of yours that I've seen has turned out just as fantastic.
Thank you.
So I'm going to recommend people go to your website, nvdesignaddecor.com,
Yes.
to take a look at
Yes.
other design options and different things you do. We did forget one thing, home staging,
I do.
people selling their house.
Yes,
You do both with their own furniture or bring in outside furniture.
that's correct.
So another service that you offer.
Yes.
People watching right now that want to get a hold of you, how can they reach you?
You can just give me a call at 775-771-8256 and schedule your appointment.
That's Mindy Heineck, NV Design and Decor. Again, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much for having
Been
me.
waiting forever and so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
For more information on this guest or to see this show in its entirety, visit nvbusinesschronicles.com. While you're there, you can watch all of our past shows on the Chronicles page and stay connected with us by following us on our social media. Now more from Nevada Business Chronicles. Mitch and Tom here
I'm Tom.
at the Tom and Mitch Show
It's the Tom and Mitch Show.
at Carpenters Music World.
Carpenters Music World.
We're going to get to talk about Yamaha.
The Yamaha Clavinova digital piano
Yamaha is a standard of the industry for centuries now.
for centuries. And today we're going to look at the Yamaha Clavinova, which is a digital piano, which is the #1 selling digital in our industry. And we will go start at the entry level, and I'll take you all the way up to the end.
Well, we have a whole line of them, but let's start with this one, the entry-level model.
This is the entry level, the P115. It is the least expensive. It is the most portable, and they have 88 keys, weighted keys, like an acoustic piano. As we move up to the next one, first of all, shows you the weight of the keys. So when you're playing one of these clavinovas, it's like playing an acoustic piano, except you don't have the strings and you don't have to tune it. As we move up through these different models, as you can see, they're getting a little larger and a little larger. Sound systems are getting bigger. So sound systems are getting bigger. So people who want bigger sound, louder sound, they're going to get that as they move up in the models.
Richer, fuller sound.
Richer, fuller sound.
Now these are interesting because I feel like I'm in the cockpit of an aircraft all
These
of a
are
sudden.
the CVP models. This is the 701, 705, 709. When you get into these, now you're getting into 800 sounds to 1200 sounds,
Wow.
16-track recording. It's like a whole recording studio. And you can also record audio. So if you want to sing, it would do that. You could take your MP3, put them in here, and they'll play all that music. It's incredible. As we move down on these, again, you're getting more sounds till you get to the flagship.
Well, let's take a look at this one.
This is the flagship of the Clavinova piano. This is a CVP 709. This is the top of the line. It's got 1,270 voices. It's got 16-track recording. You could hook it up to a TV or a giant monitor. You could sing through it. You have voice articulations in it. So let me just show you a little bit. As soon as you turn this instrument on, it defaults to a grand piano.
Beautiful, rich sound as
Now,
well.
say you wanted to play a flamenco guitar.
It's amazing.
So with this instrument, I have 1,200 sounds to actually play at my disposal. One of the biggest features of this instrument is that you really don't have to learn how to play. It will teach you. If I'm going to show you now Jurassic Park, when I push play, you're going to get Jurassic Park. Now the little red dot is traveling, but it's going to come up here and the little red light is on. Follow the lights.
I'm sensing, by watching you play Jurassic Park, that this is a really good piano to learn how to play on.
This piano has 600 different rhythm styles. So if you know just a few chords, you can take this piano and say you wanted to play a country shuffle blues. All you have to do is hit the chord and you can play. It will play the introduction, it will play the ending, it will play everything, and all you got to do is play simple chords. Now, if you really want to impress your friends and you don't even play, you can go over here, you can pick a rhythm, which you have 1,200 of them. You could pick introduction, synchro start, and all you have to do is hit one note. Play with one finger. end it.
For more information on this guest or to see this show in its entirety, visit nvbusinesschronicles.com. While you're there, you can watch all of our past shows on the Chronicles page and stay connected with us by following us on our social media. Now more from Nevada Business Chronicles.
We're going to take a look at a new show that we've been developing for the last year and a half called Sober Footprints. One of the biggest problems that plagues our country, our society today, is the alcohol and drug addiction problem. People are dying unnecessarily every day from these issues. As a community, there is something that we can do together. We can start to have the conversations, bring the information, the knowledge forward that will help people recover from these treatable issues. How do we do that? That's what the purpose of this show is to bring those subjects to the forefront and to stop treating them as if they're just going to go away on their own. Information is knowledge. In this case, knowledge is not just power. It can save somebody's life. This is important. And the work that we're about to embark on as a community, as a society, is probably the most important work we'll ever begin to take on. Let's take a look at the television show, Sober Footprints. Sober speaks for itself. It's the goal, it's the coveted prize. It's the thing we want people to be able to achieve, is sobriety. Footprints, we're referring to the footprints of those that have traveled the road to recovery, the footprints that they've left for others to follow. So on this show, we're actually going to have a series of intermittent sober footprints, stories, little tidbits of information from those that have recovered to help those who are still in their struggle. Let's take a look at one of those sober footprints by world famous World Series champion, Darryl Strawberry.
People always ask me, well, how do we help people in addiction? You know how you help people? You love them right where they're at. Because that's the most important thing. Don't try to beat them over the head and say, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. Because a lot of times people did that to me and I refused it, I rejected it. You know, and you got to kind of love people right where they're at and find out what's really going on with them and walk with them. You know, don't turn your back. You know, I had some good friends who walked along the road with me. Never turned their back, never questioned me. Even when I was in the midst of my addiction, they loved me right where I was at, and that's what's really important.
The road to drug addiction and alcoholism is a very long and very lonely road, which you'll see portrayed in the show opening of the new television series of an individual trekking to seemingly nowhere, leaving black footprints on the ground. This is the imagery to kind of explain what it feels like to trudge the road of endless despair and to scorch the earth with the darkness of one's life. The road to drug addiction and alcoholism can seem to go nowhere forever, but then there is a time where somebody will stand at that one point in their life where there's hope, where there's opportunity to get well. So in the show opener, you will see some white footprints that are in front of the individual that's been trudging the road of alcoholism and drug addiction for many years. They have to pause and notice that there's all of a sudden white footprints that are there. They haven't left those, they were there before them. The person looks down, looks forward, and has hope because there's others that have led a path for them to follow. He takes off walking rapidly, running, and then throws his hands up in the air in victory, because that's exactly what happens when people get well. Their lives change. They have newfound missions and purposes in the world. Now, there's another part of this television show which is really important. There are many factors in drug addiction and alcoholism. One of them is that there are families involved. And so on the television show, we're going to take a look at some family stories. You know, what it looks like to be a family member that has somebody that you love that's afflicted by alcoholism or drug addiction. The impact on the family, the impact on the community around them that they may not even be aware. But then we're also going to look at those families that have had success in helping, reaching out and helping their loved one seek help and get well. And they're going to be stories of inspiration and hope and an opportunity for you, if you're a family member that is just completely lost, doesn't know what to do, to get some ideas of how you may be able to help your own loved one. I've never met a person that said when they were just a little child that when I grow up, I want to be a drug addict or an alcoholic. So on this show, we're going to take a look at some of those individuals that were stricken by drug addiction or alcoholism that have found their path out. And we're going to tell their stories, share what it was like for them, and the world of hope and inspiration and quality of life that they now enjoy. And they're going to give their sober footprint so that others might have a chance of recovering.
Nowadays, with the drugs being so severe, I think you're one step away from anybody overdosing or dying. So if you have a problem with addiction, you should contact either your community or somebody around your community or somebody who's in addiction that you will try to get help. But I think it's nowadays you shouldn't be shameful of addiction or what you're going through, because there are a lot of people out there going through the same problems you're going through.
One of the stories, and our first story that we're going to cover on Sober Footprints, is the story of Colin Smith, an incredible member of our community who is giving so much to be able and be willing to share his story so that it may help others get well. Let's take a look.
From a very young age, I knew I wanted to be a chef. My granddad was a chef, and I knew that I wanted to follow in his footsteps. Growing up in this industry, I was always 15 feet from the bar. I had my first drink at work at age 15. The alcohol, I really liked it. It worked. It made me feel bulletproof. Looking back now, I realize that my grandfather was an alcoholic and a chef as well, so I followed in his footprints. So at the beginning of every shift, I'd start in the kitchen, and at the end of every shift, I'd be sitting right here at this bar, or a bar like it. I spent a lot of time at bars like this over the years. I opened up my first restaurant at 25, and I could sit at my bar anytime I wanted. I did that for the next 15 years until I almost killed myself. Food has always been my passion, but I almost lost all of it. I lost food, family, friends, and I traded all of that for vodka. It almost killed me, but not anymore. Today, I own not only a restaurant, I own this restaurant and 5 other related businesses. None of it would have been possible if I hadn't kicked the vodka. I haven't kicked the alcohol out of my life. The way I did that was I picked up the phone and I asked for help. I got the strength to ask for help from somebody who believed in me. Somebody who believed in me more than anything. My wife sat down on the bed with me one day and said, "I believe you and I love you and I know you have what it takes to beat this." That's what it took for me to pick up the phone. That's what I showed. That's when I was my strongest. The strongest I've ever been in my life was when I reached down, I picked up the phone, and I asked for help. That saved my life. It's brought more gifts, more joy, more love and satisfaction than anything I've ever done. Because the alcohol is not part of my life, all my family is, my business is, my relationships. Everything good has come when I put down the drink. If you find yourself struggling with alcohol and drug addiction, you feel hopeless, lost, broken, your friends and family are leaving you, pick up the phone and ask for help. It is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's the one call that can save your life. It can turn really bad gray skies into beautiful blue skies. Pick up the phone, make the call. There's somebody to answer.
Whether you're the family member of somebody who's struggling or you are the suffering, one thing that most people have in common is, where do we start? Where do we go? Where is the access to recovery? On this show, that may be one of the most fundamentally core reasons for the need for a show like this today. We're going to visit the resources. We're going to take you to the places where recovery exists, and not just take you there and show you where they are, but we're going to have the very, very important conversations that mystify a lot of people. One of those conversations, to give you an idea, is the conversation of when people do get into recovery, why do so many wind up drinking or using again? Well, there's studies that are showing now an issue called co-occurring disorders, where if you strip away the drugs and the alcohol, and there's an underlying mental health, and this may not be mental health in the way that most people consider mental health issues. It could be as simple as depression or anxiety or bipolar or PTSD or a host of other things that if you take away the drugs and the alcohol and the underlying condition isn't cured, you're going to go back to self-medicate again to escape the pain that you're in. Well, we're going to take a look at the facilities and the conversations like that. There's so many of them to really understand how to get and stay well. On the first episode, we were introduced to an organization that's a model, a standard for the rest of the country to look at right here at home in Nevada. It's called Crossroads Reno, and if you aren't aware of it, it's going to blow your mind. Let's take a look.
Well, it's really important that we hold court here and leave the traditional courtroom where we're up high with the robe, with armed officers, and we're sitting in judgment of individuals. Here, we're part of the team. We're part of the team that's helping these individuals on their path to recovery. And we're here with the treatment provider, we're here with the social worker, and the probation department. And it's very important as a judge, I sit at the same level that they do. I don't have a robe on. And I'm here to impress upon them that we together are here to help them as a community. In fact, it's called community court. These individuals were part of the community before they got in trouble, they will be afterwards. And so it's very important we impress upon them that we're here to support them on their road to success. And this program, it's the best part of my week because there's nobody here that is not doing well. It's all different degrees of success that they're at, whether it's 2 weeks or 2 months that they're here. And to come here and bear witness to the incredible successes these people are making, it's amazing. I tell them, people brag about running or walking a marathon, and it's nothing compared to what these individuals do day in and day out to better themselves and to be better parts of the community. And to see the way that they support each other in that process is truly amazing.
The issues of drug and alcohol addiction affect us on many levels as a community. It's a financial burden. There's crimes committed as a result. There's drunk driving, there's fatalities, there's deaths, there's overdoses. All of this disappears if we help our community members return to community and have productive lives. So this is more important than just helping somebody to get well. It helps us all get well as a community. It's going to take a community to make this possible. Let's band together and make a difference. Thanks for watching.
For more information on this guest or to see this show in its entirety, visit nvbusinesschronicles.com. While you're there, you can watch all of our past shows on the Chronicles page and stay connected with us by following us on our social media. For information on becoming a guest on our show, contact us at info@nvbusinesschronicles.com. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week at the same time for more from Nevada Business Chronicles.